Traders, it's Simon at Kairos Capital Markets. It's a Thursday evening here, and the market is almost closed for the weekend. Now, I did say last week, for this week, I thought the dollar would actually get weaker. It's got stronger, but it struggled to get stronger, and I think that is just to catch the last lot of retail traders out before it just moves weaker just for now. Personally, myself, for me, the month of May may present for me a 20% month so far. Last month, I was able to get 32% using my 1% risk model, and so I'm looking to continue the momentum from last month into this month, and we'll go ahead and see what I've got on the cards, what I've been looking at, and everything else. So the first one is to say Aussie dollar, it did lose. That's a shame. Good, perfectly good trade, absolutely fantastic. Take it every single time. It does move down, pop back up again. You got a free candle set up here, you have, which is quite nice. If you look on the weekly perspective, a nice little low test here, now forming again. The daily RSI is actually at 0, so it's now creeping back up again. So personally myself, if you didn't take the trade or you think it's good enough to take again, it would look quite nice. If you then go down to the lower time frames of the 4-hour chart, it broke the 4-hour 50 EMA, so any pullback to value using Fibonacci would actually present you a good trade. I had on here on the 1-hour chart my downward sloping trend line just to highlight when it broke out, and to show you it broke out the trend line with super high volume in this candle here. Valid move up, absolutely perfect trade to take. That would have been once it pulled back to here at 0.75. It does put 0.75 again. I would be looking to take that trade if I wasn't in it already. So that's the first one there, and that could be, for you guys, it could be a 0.1% trade, 1.5% trade. Now, the trade that I'm in as well at the moment is Euro Kiwi short. Now, I was highlighting this with a few guys here. Personally, myself, I'm going to go through this very briefly with you here. You got its upward sloping trend line, market moved down, it's come back up, test again. For me here, this is like a double top on the weekly chart, and also testing the backside of this trend line and the key level 1.71. When you pop down to the daily chart, it's moved up massively, come back down, and moved back up again to here to be at 1.71 again, as you can see. Personally myself, it's done a nice 4-hour Fibonacci pullback, and I'm going to show you that now, and the reason why I've entered already. This is the 1-hour chart there. So this is my first trade to show you. Prices got moved down, double bottom, rallied back up here, kind of stopped at 618. Nice little trade to take. I've taken it. My stop is here. My exit is on this Fibonacci extension of minus 0.27. So this is the first 4.5% trade for the month so far to actually hopefully win. So that's the first one. I quite like it. It's a pretty clean, decent setup. Now, the next one I do like the look of is Euro Dollar. So, Euro Dollar on the higher time weekly chart, you're testing the weekly 50 EMA. RSI is at 0. Good chance it will move up a little bit at least. Then when you come down to the daily chart, you've got a key level of 1.187. It has been key in the past where this mini head and shoulder pattern did form. So the fact we're now on the backside of that again with a 3 candle set up with the bullish engulfing candle with better volume than usual. I like that very well. When you come down to the lower time frames of this trade, the 4-hour chart, there's broken out. You've got a lot of volume at the bottom here, and then obviously it's broken out nicely. Bullish engulfing candle with good volume for the day. Deceleration candle with lower volume. So this is just absolutely normal. When you also coincide this trade with a trend line, just to show you it has broke out, you can clearly see it's broken out quite nicely there. So when we come down to the 1-hour chart now, what I do see, I had a wedge forming here to start with. It broke down to the wedge, but what I do like about this trade is the fact it's broke above the 1-hour 50 where it's been capped before, and it pulled back down to test it again. So I think this trade is already set to actually move off and move up higher. So we're going to go back now to the higher time frame. Where do you think we can go to? I think 1.214 would be a key level where the daily 50 is, because we've got 1, 2, 3 tests there. So 1.214 will be my area of expectations. This say you entered now. You want to put in something like a trend line here just to show you where you're wrong. That'll be it there. 1.214. This will be your second trade most likely if you like that one. Another you get a 2.3% trade there, no problem, which is quite nice. With a nice safe stop there. Personally myself, any pullback to value, if you come it down to there for a little bit there, another tightish stop there like that. 213, 214. You got 3% trade there. So depending how where you enter, what you're waiting for, that is what I'd be saying will be the ideal setup. So that's another, like I said, 3.5% trade there. So we're now sitting at 4, 5, just under 8% so far. Now my next trade I like is pound dollar. On pound dollar, very similar setup to the euro dollar setup. So it's come down to the weekly 50 EMA. I know it's broke down this trend line already. It just needs to pull back to the daily 50 and test the backside that trend line. So it's 1.38, no more 1.38. It's really pushing it. When you look at the weekly chart, you've got RSI sitting at 0 again. And when you look at the daily, RSI has been sitting at 0 as well. So I quite like that. Also notice the super high volume for this candle here, this last candle. It shows you that the sellers couldn't sell no more, and there was buyers coming in to take up the selling position there. So that the buyers took the sells away from each other, and you're left with a nice dojo with super high volume, a nice setup to take long for Friday and into Monday next week. Now, I'm already in this trade already. I got in at this level here pretty, well, around this kind of level here. Maybe a little lower around there. My stop was wide than that in all fairness. But like I said, I'm targeting 1.38, just under 1.38. That would be there. That kind of figure there. So you got another 4% there. So this would be 12% in total. For me personally, if you're a bit wary about this trade, wait for it to break above the 1 hour 50 and the 1.354 level. I'll be quite happy to take that. When you look on the 4 hour chart, to give you an idea, you do actually have a triple bottom there with decent volume at the bottom there. And if you just zoom out a little bit on this level, you can see this level has actually had support and resistance in the past. It's a beautiful trade to take. So I said this is another 4%, 3.5%, 4% trade there, and that will give you now 12%. Now my next and final trade, which I'm in at the moment, is gold long. Now I've entered 2 positions on gold already because I liked it quite well. I had a small position and a larger position here. And I'll show what happened there. So on the daily perspective, we've got 1305, 1310 being a key level there we have, which is quite nice to see. Lots of deceleration reversal candles, and we broke up on the bullish engulfing candle today on the daily chart. And the reason for that is because the 4 hour chart, this is crucial here, the 4 hour chart had been testing the 4 hour 50 multiple times, then broke up above it quite nicely. I'll be now looking for a pullback to enter if I wasn't in already. 1316 would be a nice level to enter there, something like that there. Put your stop there, and you can target the top of the range again at just under 150, just under 1350, sorry, something like that there, like this. Another 2.5% trade. That's 14% there. On the other one I had already running, it wasn't that one there, although that was the trade I did take today. This is one I scaled in, obviously, for this one. On this one here, I got in a better level there. That's another 3.5% trade as well. So 3.5 and 2.5 for that one there will be 6. And this one here, obviously, once we get up the coordinates correct, hold on, 49. That's another 2% there as well, that is, guys. So yeah, you get the idea that we've got lots of potential for tradings this week. You could probably find that after the end of next week, you can probably give up for the month again and come out between 15 and 20% profit, which is a nice monthly goal to have if you can achieve it all the time like that. So that's what I'm looking for at the moment. I'm still bearish on the dollar. I'm just waiting for the confirmation to happen. Gold has shown its hand and done it already. I think that others will follow suit. And if you look at all the other pairs going around, even the Kiwi dollar is looking to be a bit more bullish now. Dollar yen short, that was also another trade here. Nice double top pattern there on the 4 hour chart. It's breaking down again on the 1 hour chart there. So lots and lots of dollar pairs are looking really weak now. Dollar CAD has already moved down, so this would be a nice move back up. If you can get in dollar CAD here, a break and retest of the 4 hour 50, just put your trend line like that there. Anything around here, you can place your order that about here, maybe the worst. That's the worst pullback scenario. You've got a 1-to-1 pattern distance already. Again, dollar CAD, you can look on the daily chart to see what we've got. We'll do this off the cuff and have a look. So ideally, I've got a level round about 126.8. 26.8 would be there. So you still got another 1.4% trade there. What I'm trying to highlight with you guys here is that the dollar is looking weak this week now. We're leading into next week. And I just want you to be prepared for this. If it's me for this one, this trade here, I'd do something like this. A nice slide there, a nice tight stop there as an order. I'd do it as an order. And there is your 4% trade just by leaving an order on that level there. Maybe make it like a little bit safer like that. So if it spikes up, it's not so bad. But you can see here the spike's not going any higher than that. So we might be able to draw something like this as well. Let's have a look. So you'll make it nice and safe. There, make it safe. That's the safest you can have it on that with an order without even being in the market whatsoever. There's lots of ways of trading this. Just be prepared though for the dollar to be weaker throughout next week and take some of these shorter term positions, and then we can jump back on the dollar bull market as and when it changes and turns later on. Okay guys, thank you very much for listening as usual, and I will be with you again on the weekly review for the weekend. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon.